Welcome. Your Reach Review time with Imperial. Another episode of Power, Season 5, Episode 7, The Devil Inside. Let's get into it. The plot thickens. So here we go. We got this week, picking up from last week, where you got Tasha, who believes that Silva will back her if he was brought into custody. On trial, back her story. So he still thinks she's covering for James, aka Ghost. However, that's not the case. So she comes clean and tells him what really took place, and that it was Tyreek, it wasn't Ghost. So he still thinks she's covering for Ghost or whatever after all this. So she confides in him and she tells him what took place. She says that's not the case. That's where that went. Of course, they have a sex scene or whatever. On the flip, you have James and Angela going back and forth, and they both love each other and both holding back, but they eventually have their sex scene too. And from there you have Angela's co-workers are plotting against her, and they want to implement her with everything else. The black detective or FBI agent that she looked out for, he doesn't think she's dirty, but he has to go along with it to save face with his job. So he doesn't feel comfortable, but he got to go with the flow. So Tasha, which is the head of all of them, she wants them to get Tracy to roll over and get some information. He hasn't given them any information on St. Patrick, which is James, by the way. James St. Patrick, which is aka Ghost. So they arrive to Tracy's house, and that's not a good look, because what if you're a free man, why does the feds keep showing up to your house? So that's not a good look. And they basically tell him they need something on St. Patrick that's going to stick. So everybody already know, if you've been following Power, Tracy knows hands down that James killed CO, correctional officer, while he was locked up. And so it leads you to think like, well, is he going to drop the dime? So from there, Connie, Tracy's wife, she tells him she can't believe he's doing what he's doing. Pretty much, he's telling her to save face. He had to see her going over that whole spiel because she was going through her cancer stage, and he wanted to see her before she passed or whatever. So she's basically saying, if you go through with this and you get Tommy locked up, you're not going to have nobody that's going to be out here to protect you. Basically, like, you're getting old, you know what I'm saying? And so you're not going to have nobody to protect you. So that makes him think of something. So she tells him she knows Tommy is his son. So she's upset. He's like puzzled, like, oh, she knew all this time. She said she didn't know. She always heard about the affair, but she didn't know there was a kid involved until recent. So that kind of like pushed the weight off of him, pressure off, because he's keeping the two from each other. And pretty much he feels a little better, but she still smacked him because, just because he did it or whatever. But he could take that. So now you got Tracy's left with Dylan. How could he uh, salvage this situation and keep Tommy out of it. So that's going to be interesting to see how he do that. And then from there, of course, Tommy, he has Tommy. They go make a run from the guy that they had that's working in the prison that supposed to come back with the money. So he took the money, but he felt the money was light and he felt like it was metal in there. So basically, in that game, when you see in a bunch of movies that people always trying to shake people, so the guy put some weight, like metal weight, in the suitcase to make it feel like it was heavy, and just put a couple some money over top of it. So because he tried to snake them, they had to off him. So it was a killing scene on there where that was Tommy and Tracy's boy. That's their bonding moment. So like if you had a father growing up and y'all played basketball together or y'all went fishing together, and that was their bonding moment. Them all killing each other. So in the process of driving off, they're asking Tommy, you know, have you ever done that before? And he's deep in. So he's talking to them like he knew them his whole life. And so he's fair game and giving up all types of information of different killings. And the friend that's in the back is listening to all this. And he said, that's it? And he said, no, I got more. And then he's just rambling and telling everything. So it looks like the friend is on some suspect shit where the friend, Tony Teresi's friend, is got a case himself, or he's recording all this, and he looked real suspect. He just taking all the information in, because then Teresi asks Tommy to come over the house and for dinner or whatever, and then but he tells his friend basically, you not included. This is a family affair. Now this friend has stuck with him all his life while he was in jail and making sure Connie received, you know, payments and stuff like that. So when you say, no, this is a family affair, what are you saying about the friend? Because even though a friend might not have your same bloodline, but a friend could be just like family, because it's the camaraderie and the build-up that y'all built and looking out for each other, and the thick and thin that y'all been with each other. So you can see something brewing with that. Nevertheless, they pull over. Tommy's mom is calling them. She looking for a fix, and she want him to come over. And she hears Teresi's voice, so she's flipping, cause she know he ain't crap, and he never meant anything to Tommy. And it was moments probably growing up that he could have helped, but he didn't. So that's how she's viewing this. So she's like, you with that piece, and he hangs up on her or whatever. So when Tommy shows up to meet Connie and she cooks dinner for them, they pretty much asked Connie, she was smart at what could Tommy do for legitimate business to wash his money, and she told him a late night ambulance service. So that kind of, you know, brainstorm, they didn't think of that, so that was a good one. However, they hear someone screaming belligerently outside, and lo and behold, it's Tommy's mom. So Tommy goes to the door, she barges right in. I can't believe you in here, you brushed me off for this piece of crap, whatever. And she's going off, and he telling her get out. And he was like, how you even know where this is? And she was like, you think I don't know? It's plenty of nights I came by here basically looking for Tony or whatever. And she looked at Connie, and basically Connie, which is Teresi's wife, told her, this is my son, whatever. And you know what I'm saying, you know, you ain't gotta be intruding basically. And instead of just aiming the hate and the anger at Teresi or Tommy for, you know, leaving her out like that, you know, she's aiming to hate at Connie, and Connie makes a comment and say, "That's my son." And I'm like, well, dang, you know what I mean? That hurt, you know what I'm saying? So they push her out the door, and she go about her business, and that's that. But then you've been having this whole season of Tommy popping up. Now let me rewind. So in the course of their dinner before Tommy's mom came to the house. They asked Tommy, did he have a girl? So of course he's reminiscent of the girl he killed, that was pregnant by him, or whatever. And it said that they need to bring, like he said, basically he got a girl he been seeing off and on. So you already, if you paying attention, you already imagine he's talking about Kisha. And so they like, you need to bring her over. And so he was like, I don't think so, you know, whatever. They're like, nah, you should bring her. Now, stereotypical, they're Italian or whatever, and most of, you know, it's been stereotypical that they don't care for black people. So you can see Tommy like, well, you know, because she's considered black, even though Keisha's black and Spanish, but you can't really see, she looks more black than Spanish. So he's kind of like, I don't know, whatever. So that's going to be interesting when that dinner probably finally happens, how that's going to play out. Nevertheless, Tommy goes see Kisha, and he confesses he still feel for her. He want to make it serious. And she's all googly-eyed because they basically left her character, this lost soul that can't get no, as beautiful as she is, can't link up with no other men. And she's just a lost soul just waiting at someone's beck and call. So that's bad writing for her character. They just, whatever, you know what I'm saying? She's too beautiful of a woman that would be sitting like that. But that's something to do more like with mental issues. So, you know, that's what we call women like that. We call them head cases. So, nevertheless, she is googly-eyed for Tommy. And they do their sex thing. And the next day, she links up with Tasha. She tells Tasha, like, hey, yo, you know, guess I linked up with Tommy, and she all, you know, Tasha like, oh, okay. And then she like, yeah, he went to go see his dad and told me he want me to meet his dad. Now Tasha's looking like his dad. Tommy ain't got no dad. She's like, yes, he do. So nobody has filled Tasha in through this whole time that Tommy's dad had resurfaced. He's been in jail, this, that, and the third. So Tasha's now she keeps trying to go back to that. And then Keisha's too googly-eyed, you know what I mean, to look past anything. Meanwhile, Tasha is zoning in like, hold on, this picture don't sound right. Like, this man all of a sudden is coming out 25 years out the blue, and now Tommy's embracing him like that. Like, nah, something's up. Like, this don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? So her antennas is up. Meanwhile, Keisha's like, I ain't worrying about all that. I'm just happy that, you know, I got somebody. So Silva hits Tasha pretty much saying, yo, I got something to show you, come through. This whole season you have had Tommy popping up on Angela's, like they kind of make it comedic, where Tommy's popping up over Angela's house and he's breaking in and stuff like that. So it's a scene where it shows Tommy popping up out of the backseat of her car, and he freaks her out, and then she like, well, she got a problem. Basically, she thinking about having Tommy kill John Mox. And she was like, hold off, because I'm going to try, you know, offer him. I'm going to try to do something first before we get to that measure. So this shows Angela's dark side or whatever. So from there, you have Ghost and Dre putting together their plan to kill both of their enemies. So instead of Ghost handling the situation where Dre was there to do. Dre had it set up where Ghost would go kill the Jimenez brother, and after he killed the Jimenez brother, his cronies would kill Ghost. So Dre don't know his cronies is already confided in Kanan, so they tell Kanan the whole story and what they're planning on doing. So then Kanan is basically like, all right, I'm gonna kill the Jimenez, and basically he's gonna infiltrate the whole thing. So Kanan been working the whole season, putting together moving pieces, playing chess, moving this there, moving there, only so he can become the top dog. And so he pretty much is gonna throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing between Dre and Ghost. So he kills the Menendez brother and his Sicario. Sicario basically is the Jimenez hitman. He killed both of them and chopped the Jimenez dude head off. So Dre's plan is working halfway. He's supposed to get rid of Ghost too, but that didn't work. So now Kanan knows about Tommy's connect, Jason. So he's going basically to meet them to tell them, listen, it's a hit out for you, but look, Ghost and them was playing. This is the head Jimenez right here. I got his head right here. Killed him. I'm trying to show my loyalty to you. And so the dude said, yeah, well, if you get rid of Ghost and Tommy, then pretty much, you could be the man. But you're gonna have to show we can trust you. So he like, well, I'm gonna show you something else. It's a hitman over here to coming to hit you. So you need to get free. And he like, Jason like, man, forget that. We could just kill him. And then he like, nah, because if you do that, then that's gonna alert the Jimenez, and then she won't be off your back, the sister. So he took the information bounce. So when Dre was coming through to kill, because he knew what room they was in, they were gone. So that throws a monkey wrench on that end. So Tracy has linked back up with Mock and Sax, basically to tell them, yo, I'm going to drop the dime. Jamie killed, St. Patrick killed someone while he was in jail, was a CO. And they asked him, well, are you willing to testify against that? He said, if it comes to that. So you see that part is all messy. So Sax Proctor is desperate to get his law license back because that's his livelihood, how he makes his money. So he comes in to tell Mock that he's pretty much filing harassment charges on him. Sax tells him, hey, I can get you reinstated like nothing. And he was like, well, what you know about Angela? Well, he said, I can't give you no information on my clients. Well, he said, well, I want information on somebody that's not your client. And he asked him, give me some dirt on Angela. So he like, well, make the phone call first. So Sax makes the phone call, gets him reinstated for his lawyer license. Now that's kind of poor writing. He got all that pull, and that was terrible right there. So whatever. And now Proctor is looking for some dirt on Angela. That's what struck Tommy to show up on Angela in his car, in her car. So you have Councilman Tape. He's pretty much linked up with Ghost, told Ghost, I'm letting you go, and I'll be giving you your money back to you that you donated or whatever. I'm going to launch for governor. So he think he got Ghost like by the balls and pretty much, I don't need you no more. So Ghost hollers at his street connection that Councilman Tape brought to Ghost's attention way back, and then Ghost told him he'd double pay him whatever Councilman Tape said that he could pay him. And so he was like, "But you don't know, Councilman Tape's been paying me off the funding of the project." So he brought that. He recorded the dude saying that, and he brought that to Councilman Tape, basically saying, "I'm not going nowhere off the project. You not letting me go," and basically telling him, "Don't make you a priority to get at you." So Councilman Tape, it's egg on his face at this moment. So it's a lot of stuff brewing, slick stuff going. The plot is thickening. Pieces are starting to fall in place. You also seen Tariq and Kanan linking up. They had this bonding session where Kanan is pretty much still manipulating Tariq. Tariq listened to the message of his dad. He's still on some anti-dad mission. He deeper and deeper falling for hate for his father, and Kanan is soaking it all up, implementing it, and befriending Tariq like that's his boy. He has his best interest. Basically telling him you could be a big drug dealer up in his school, running pills and doing that. And you just gotta be ready to put it to work. Tariq basically like, I'm ready. He playing chess with him, and so you see that running. So you got Tariq. He got two phones. He got a backup phone that his family calls him on, but then he got the phone that Kanan calls him on or whatever. So instead of he's about to text his dad for a moment, just say, "I got your message," whatever. But after that, it's pretty much like, he stopped and he like, "Nah, I'm hollering at Kanan." So the writing of this, like the frustrating watching Tariq go through all this, like episode to episode, like I hope by the end of this season, they write where we thinking Tariq is just this scum kid and just going deeper and deeper, that they wrote it where he flips it and whatever. But if they don't, I mean, like, this is poor. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You make people dislike this character. You know what I'm saying? You dislike this character or whatever. That can brand an actor or whatever. If you think about it, and child actors, they play some roles and they've been branded for the rest of their career where they can't move past that role. I don't know if people seen Game of Thrones or are familiar with Game of Thrones, but those of you have watched that, it was a character on there named Joffrey. He was a piece of crap character, and everybody couldn't wait till he got his demise. And if you notice, you ain't seen him in nothing else since then, or whatever. And that's what kind of happens with when writers write a character so bad, it's like no coming back from this, whatever. Like they forever is stamped as this kid douchebag that couldn't do right. After everything this kid had been through, he's still digging deeper and deeper and deeper, or whatever. So I don't know. That's I don't like the writing of that, and hopefully they can redirect this whole thing. So we'll see. It's episode 7, so it's past mid season. So we're gonna see how that works out. So pretty much that's it in a nutshell. The plot is thickening. Some things is starting to rearrange. It's gonna be interesting to see how things pan out. Tommy is aloof, or is Tommy smarter than what we think he is? I don't know. It's not looking good. Till next week. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe and like. Watch the video. Subscribe and like. The channel is building. Share the video. Comment. Till next time.